Hey guys, Artosis here, bringing you some more Moonlight Pro League. We are right now in game number 7. We have this game, Motive, sitting here in the top left of Largo, going up against Ample in the bottom right. Should be an exciting one. I think cross spawn is going to make it even more interesting because it's going to be a lot harder for them to end the game quickly. Ample definitely kind of known as a more aggressive Terran. But yeah, that's just kind of my beginning take on it. Very excited to see what types of builds Ample is going to show us here. One of my favorites to watch for this matchup. Motive, of course, been on a bit of a tear lately. He's had some ups and downs in some of the games that I've casted lately. But, I mean, that's always going to be the case, right? Thank you, everyone, by the way, for tuning in. And hope that you're enjoying. And look at that. Hey. Looking at you, Maddie. This offset, depot, Ample. He does it all the time. All right. So, Largo is one of our newer maps, and it's pretty vanilla overall, I would say. You know, I guess the most interesting aspect of it is the 2 giant ramps that kind of lead down into your area overall. And the ramps, it's like near the third base. Like, for instance, for Ample, it'll be right about here. But it basically makes it a little bit harder to take the third base. And honestly, when I first saw Largo and played my very first game on it, I was like thinking to myself, oh gosh, this is going to be very difficult to play because of that. But honestly, it hasn't turned out that way. You actually, there's enough room there that you can make a couple buildings and you can kind of have your units far enough back that you're not fighting against high ground units. So after that's kind of been settled, it's not just going to be only gateway man armies on this map. It's actually become pretty interesting because there are some different ways you can move your army, right? Like there are those little bridges right there. This is that higher above the third base area. This is a third base here. But yeah, that's the type of ramp I was kind of talking about. But even through the center, there's a lot of variation in how you can move your army around. So yeah, I think it's like a really well-made map and kind of almost like my second favorite map to polypoid at the moment for just kind of standard macro games. Definitely is giving us a lot of those so far. Kind of hoping to see that here out of these guys as well. Now, Motive has that Dragoon on the way. We'll see if he gets his range started. Yep, there it goes. The SCV going to come up and find it. Notice that this is not an end scout from Ample. Now, you don't have to do the end scout. Just throwing that out there. Like, you know, it's something I talk about a lot, right? Because it's kind of like Terran vs. Protoss Factory Expand Basics 101, where you scout the close spawns first. And it kind of gives you a lot of intel, a lot of potential to rush into a Nexus first play that's close. But again, you don't have to do it. And in fact, he scouted here second. So like the worst case scenario for him would be if like Motive was up here, right? If he's up there and Ample's doing the wrong build, then he could get in trouble. Now, 3 Marines are out. Vulture coming as well, so just a standard Vulture expansion. The SCV going back up. Probe coming down to scout, but it looks like the Dragoon is left here at home just to make sure no scout gets in. Oh, he actually isn't quite quick enough, but will he get his probe on the ramp correctly? Yep, he gets it there. So SCV is still going to be denied, but you know what? You see the Nexus, you see the timing of the Nexus, and you have a pretty darn good idea of what's going on. In fact, even sees the 3rd pylon. So that's a lot of information that he gained. I don't think he's going to be too afraid of anything right now. Now, the Vulture may try to run by, but I think it's pretty obvious the way Motive's playing that he's not going to have an empty ramp right now. Vulture expands are so popular, it's rare that you won't see a Dragoon just kind of holding on to that ramp. Vulture's sitting in the middle here. Oh, this is kind of interesting. This will at least spot if another Dragoon's coming out, and if you're quick with your reaction times, you can get that Vulture out of there. We do have the Robo coming up as well as a second gateway, so not a big commitment to exactly what we'll see. Let's look at Ample's side of the map. Very, very, very fast armory along with a tank and mines on the way. So he does have 2 Vultures out. Going to be laying some mines around for vision, to catch goons, to kind of keep him back. Maybe lay some on possible third bases. This is a very popular third base for PvT right now, like in these types of spawns. because it does have a very tight choke. There's also a gas there, although Protoss doesn't actually need a gas at their third in this matchup. It's not like a very important thing. Well, gonna lay some of these mines over the big ramps. This will see any big army movements coming up. The only other ramp that he can get up with is this one. And in fact, he might even go there to lay the last couple mines anyways. One thing I gotta point out about Ample, like, this is a really optimized build where he's feeling his way out of what's feeling his way out. That's not a good way to put it. He's feeling out, like, what's going on with Motive super well this game, right? Like, he sent the SCV up and sacked it. He's had the Vulture in and out several times. He put the mines down. But look at this, right? 3 Marines, no bunker, right? Very fast armory. Getting the eBay as well because he doesn't have full intel. There's that second factory. This is a really... He's done some great optimizations. This isn't like a build order you would write down. This has to do with Ample looking at the game, the information that he's able to acquire, and just kind of flowing with it into the best possible situation for himself. And I think he's putting out a beautiful game here. So that third Nexus gets started, but Motive takes the low ground one with the mineral-only base. Not a big surprise, right? If your opponent has the Vultures out and you're not really ready yet to clear out those mines, then that's gonna... It's better to get your third base on time. Like I mentioned, you don't actually need the gas. Now, we do have Reaver Tech coming up, and again, no scanners as of yet. This is a very highly optimized build, but he had to get turrets, or an eBay rather, instead. So just something to keep in mind. He's not 100% ready for the Reaver, and speed is on the way. So that makes it a little bit scary as well. Let's see if he makes any turrets. Do we have a Goliath? Okay, he is making his first Goliath, which is so important. If you don't have a Goliath and this comes in here, you basically don't have any way to push it back. First turret gets started. Okay, sees the Reaver. He might even have to cancel this. This could actually be a really good move to force a cancel on that. Instead, he decides to dive into the main base. Ooh, this is not the greatest drop, I think. Okay. Okay, I take it back. That was a good Scarab. But, yeah, plenty of units to push that back. Out comes the Dragoon, and... okay, well, picks off the tank. Yeah, you know what? Turns out this pro gamer Motive knows what he's doing. This isn't like a snow level Reaver, but it's getting some work done. Forcing some turrets, picking off a tank. I guess he got some of the Marines in there. But I think that's about the end of his damage. Let's look back at Motive's base now. He's got the 4 Zealots being made. Shuttle on the way, shuttle number 2. And of course, with that speed upgrade, you do want multiple shuttles. You never want to sit on just one if you're getting that speed. Looks like he is going to want to take his 4th base as well. Going to be taking it over at this side. Bringing the Observer up to just clear that mine that he knows is most likely there. Down at Ample's base. Does have a defensive missile turret. But if I look at this defense honestly, if double speed shuttle comes over and he hasn't added to the defense here and here, Ample's going to be in for a bad time. Like, look, okay, so we have 3 Zealots and a Reaver so far. Do we have another Reaver on the way? No, an Observer. Oh, is he going to try to bust this? Huh. Not sure that would be my favorite move here, honestly. But, like, the thing is, the defense here is so weak. There's no mines. Of course, he doesn't have an Observer to check that, but there's very few turrets as well, which... You need, like, basically against double speed shuttle, you need, like, 2 turrets here and a turret here, but it only has 1 and 1. So you would actually kind of demolish in there with this. Okay, here we go. It looks like he is going to dive in. Dropping out those Zealots first, trying to drag some mines. He only gets 3 of the Zealots out. Okay, going to drop the Goon off. And now the Reaver in this mineral line. Let's see what Scarab gets. Oh! A ton of SCVs end up going down. Oh my god! That was insane! So many SCVs dying. I do not know the number, but this was a pretty well-saturated base, and he's down to 4 SCVs, 5 SCVs on it. Wow, that Scarab definitely paid for itself, but what else did he get? He definitely killed like 2 or 3 tanks. He lost both of his shuttles, the Reaver, the Zealots. The Zealots don't matter. Like, Ample's still fine. Ample's still fine, but it was a flashy scarab for sure. All right, that fourth base is almost done. A few speed vultures out in the map trying to lay some mines. Motive coming out, clearing quite a few. Photon cannon going up. Nothing in the main, nothing in the natural, and photon cannon at the fourth. So third and fourth base is getting some additional anti-vulture defense, but we haven't seen that elsewhere. Will we have a dropship? No, it looks like no add-on there for the starport. Although a dropship could at some point come out and be a little bit handy here. Tanks sieging up. I like the amount of buildings he's actually building out here. Like, for instance, look at this, right? 334 of 500. So this depot absorbed more than 150 damage, which is the health of a siege tank. So anytime you can put buildings out kind of with your army, and this is why most terrain on maps is not buildable, because Terrans would just build so many buildings in the center. But yeah, they can really do a lot of tanking for you. It screws up the AI of the incoming units and everything. And you can see that same thing on the side here. I actually love this. I haven't seen this yet. But yeah, definitely something I'll be stealing personally. Now the vulture's coming up. Looks like he wants to try to clear these. I don't think it's really going to work out like he wanted. Too many goons coming in to help out their friends. We do have a Psystorm almost done, and already the High Templars loaded up as well. Base number 5 gets started. Going to throw down some pylons here to help defend there also. Lots of Zealots starting to flow out. On 8 gates right now. Double Forge been made here for Motive as well. So wants to start catching up on those upgrades. Let's take a look at Ample's upgrades. There's an armory, there's an armory. Okay, so he does have +2 on the way. Looks like +1 armor is already done. Adding some more turrets, getting his 4th command center going. All right, cool. Not like the quickest upgrades, but quick enough, I think. It's going to be able to get into a nice big macro game, and he's playing against a Psystorm-based composition right now, where the speed of the upgrades don't matter as much. Speed of upgrades are most important against carriers. That's for sure. And then probably Gateway Man. But when Psystorm is in there, it kind of ignores them a bit more. Now, here we go. Gonna drop out some Psystorms here. Storm's going down on these tanks, and oh my god, the Zealots getting in on top of these siege tanks so well. Where are the vultures? Not really sure. I guess they were out trying to harass, but not enough left at home. A lot of damage being dealt. Almost ready for another Psystorm. Here we go. 75 energy. I would love to see it here on these SCVs. More Zealots coming in here as well. All right, looks like he's going to try to dive onto these tanks. I see this High Templar making his way down. Ooh, very good Storm. Ends up killing a good amount of SCVs there as well. Back down to just about 50 workers now. More tanks coming up, going to help push those goons back. Yeah, I think that was quite a successful attack there from Motive. Going to start rebuilding some of these buildings. Oh, I like that too. Taking that 4th CC and just producing out of it for now. And oh, before the turrets are remade, coming in with those Zealot bombs. They kill a tank, injure a couple more. And, you know, with this 5th base finishing up and kind of having mostly map control here, moves like that are going to be very strong for Motive. Just trading off like anything he can to reduce that tank count a little bit to slow down Motive coming out, or slow down Ample coming down out on the map. Always going to be a strong move when you're economically ahead like this. But he has his 4 command centers, right? He's getting back up to a very healthy SCV count. We have 60 SCVs. I think it's just about time for him to lift this and bring it up here. Get his siege line going more vertically, kind of block off this area, and, you know, get that 4th base mining. Now, Motive coming down. He does have 2-1 almost done. Observer speed coming as well. Let's take a look in his main. Adding 4 more gates, so we're going up to 12. Double Robo is out. Ooh, I didn't see this. I think this is relatively new, but he's now on the double Robo speed shuttle style, which is quite popular. Normally, you see that done a little bit earlier and a little bit more aggressive. But yeah, it looks like he just wants to really focus on that. But quite a few ranged Goliaths are out. So if you're very quick on your targeting, and especially if you have an EMP there too, you really can deny these shuttles. from getting as much damage as what he's planning. There are possibilities of a dive in. He did make additional turrets, but of course you can kind of unload on top of that, slow him down a little bit. Now Ample deciding it's just about time to move out. Bottom left being taken here from Motive. And, oh, this is interesting. He's floating the command center towards this 4th base and then trying to push up the smaller ramp, which is not where most of the units are. Most of Motive's army was over here. Okay, he will be able to push up and kind of get to this high ground area, which is very important. I'm not sure what the significance of this area to Motive is, though. Honestly, I think he has to come up here. Maybe this was just to force that army over here. He's stopped flanks or counterattacks through this path by laying some mines. And yeah, now he's taking the high ground. So I guess tactically a very strong move here from Motive. Now gonna go ahead, drop out. Ooh, that Psystorm on the siege tanks looking healthy. And well, only a few Zealots left here, so the tanks will start to win. Ooh, another good Psystorm goes down. Kills off that vessel as well. Another good Psystorm. And it looks like Ample will just barely push him back. Okay, 4th base is landed. We've got to get SCVs there. Got to get that gas going. He's super low on gas right now. And I'm a little bit afraid for Ample. Like, he does have 3-2 coming, but he's having a hard time actually getting up to, like, a killer army. Okay, he's got 3 add-ons, so he can definitely produce the siege tanks again very, very quickly. But that's, like, 8 facts, right? So it's going to take him a while. You're basically... you're not making that much supply that quickly. Whereas you have all these gateways out. More gateways are going to get added, I'm sure. Yeah, some down there. But he's got to field a gigantic army and start cutting the map up a little bit. Like, he can't let this base and this base be taken. It looks like Motive getting ready to maybe take this base up here as well. Ample does expand down to 6 o'clock. So that's very nice. Coming up with a good group of vultures. Now, they have 3-2 upgrades, so they actually can kind of wreck cannons at this point. He can kill these cannons with these vultures now. So gonna go down, get on top of those. 3-2 vultures is just so powerful. You can see how quickly they power down cannons at this point. The probe's just gonna run out of here. He knows he can't save them. Ample gonna split off a few vultures here at least to pick off some of those probes on their way out. Still a healthy probe count for Motive, but if Ample can end up killing this base, I feel like he gives himself such a better position than he was previously. I think enough Dragoons are here that he should not be able to kill this Nexus. Like, maybe you just run into mines all day and then lose them, but doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Okay, so Motive saves that Nexus. Still massing up. A lot of speed shuttles are out. Oh my god, look at this. He's got 3 Reavers and 10 Zealots in these shuttles. Okay, let's see what this madness is going to be all about. The 6 o'clock base is really wide open right now. Looks like he's headed towards the natural, which isn't the most important place, but let's see. Okay, he's going to dive bomb out at the natural. Loses only 1 shuttle. How many turrets were there? Oh my god, only 1 shuttle going down. Flies into the main base, drops out some Reavers and Zealots here. And I guess they will do pretty well in these tight quarters, at least at first. Obviously, this is not like a game-ending move at this point. But he's got that double robo, trying to make it useful. Okay, looks like everything gonna get cleaned up pretty well. Yeah, it didn't seem like that was super effective, but I guess it did force a lot of the army back. He attacks down into 6 o'clock during this. And during this time, Ample's not attacking anywhere else. So, I mean, I guess you got to look at the bright side there. Oh, this 1 Vulture on the ramp screwing up Ample's entire army right now, all getting stuck behind it. Okay, finally going to move down. Did save this command center, even though it's on fire. But yeah, he's got to retake that, because look, when you get to this point in the game, and this is a very common thing around 18, 19 minutes, you got to look at this and say, oh, my minerals are getting very low at my 3rd base. If you drop to 1 mining base, it's not enough. You basically lose the game. So right now, Ample doesn't need to worry about attacking. What he needs to worry about is securing more bases. Now, how is he going to plan to do that? It still feels like 6 o'clock might be the most available one. He's building a turret here, so maybe he's decided to expand to the north, though. Which, obviously, there's, like, more bases up here, so that could be nice. Oh, wow. He found the only turret in the map and flew his shuttles over and lost some. Okay, a huge Vulture counterattack coming up right now. Psystorm goes down on the ramp. They're going to be able to clear out some of these cannons, laying a lot of mines here as well, but the speed of Observer is going to help him to clear that out. Very healthy tank count right now for Ample. All right, laying a bunch of mines. Ooh, this Vulture raid is looking pretty good, but like I mentioned, guys, if he doesn't secure a base, like, this is a good move. But Motive without this base mining is still okay. He's got this base mining. He's got his third about the... actually, a little bit more than this. Oh, God. Nice Ice Storm here on the fourth. But he's also got this base. He's got this Nexus. He's got this Nexus. So while this did some economic damage, Ample doesn't have enough income to keep going. Like, okay, he's just about maxed out. His army's actually better than Motive's army, but he can't refill it because he doesn't have enough income. Whereas Motive can refill. Look at this. He can afford 34 Zealots right now if he wants to make them. Or if he needs to make them. He can't. Even if he wants to make them, he can't buy them right now. Okay, here comes the push. Now, this Terran army can beat every Protoss unit that's on the map right now. But can it beat every Protoss unit that's on the map? And then also 32 more units? And then also, you know, in that amount of time, he's mined a bunch more and then a bunch more as well? That's the big question. Another Psystorm drop being suicided over into this fourth base. Honestly, I think he should be saving the Psystorms right now. Well, I guess this is good as well because now he's literally not mining. Like, literally actually not mining. But he needs some Psystorms on the army as well. This army is the last scary thing for Ample. Okay, the siege tank's moving over. Here we go. Okay, we do have some Psystorms inside of these shuttles. One High Templar on the ground as well. Has that Kadarian Amulet upgrade, so could have a lot of storms ready. Not sure exactly the number. Ooh, I love this. Splits a couple tanks to the side. Very nice. He is getting 6 o'clock mining. Very good. Not mining here right now. Very bad. Mined out, mined out, mined out. Yeah, Ample has got to make sure that this is the most efficient push ever. Now, Motive coming down with his army. Oh my God, there's so many siege tanks here. Not enough Psystorm to cut through them right now. He has got to get out of here with this army. Ample doing such a great job right now of boxing that back. And he's killed off this Nexus. Huge move. Looks like the double drop going to come up and kind of force those siege tanks away. Did I hear? Yeah, an Arbiter is out now as well. Stasis is coming, but not ready yet. He's going to lose another Nexus. That does leave him these 2 bottom left bases, but not good probe saturation right now. Very, very low as far as that goes. Need to see him transfer a bunch of workers. This is a crazy game right now. All right, a couple empty shuttles going around these units following. Starting to get some defense here. Oh, kind of missed that. It looks like maybe a Psystorm drop, but he pulled most of them out. Great upgrades for Motive right now as well, but it doesn't matter as much if you don't have the army behind it. Still has a bit more of a bank, a little bit more in army supply as well. Okay, Motive could be in trouble here, guys. This has been a very back and forth game, a very well played game from both sides. Ample right now, he has 2 mining bases, which is what you need. He's starting to push here once again, looking to eliminate this base. Oh, doesn't get the Psystorm off there. Oh, throws one down, but it's not really that good. Oh, he actually gets the Science Vessel. That's really nice. All right, picks up. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, he loses the 2 High Templars in there. Great sniping there. from these +3 Goliaths of Ample. And I think Motive doesn't have enough left at this point. He's running around with like a single Arbiter and some Gateway units. It doesn't really beat anything, unfortunately. Looks like he will end up losing this. The unit's trying to hit 6 o'clock again. The problem is Motive, like, after he loses this base, doesn't have anything. And this is barely anything anyways, because he doesn't have probes here. So while this attack is pretty good, he's got to actually kill the army, which doesn't look super doable. Right? Well, yeah, like, if he could have saved one more base, this base, well, this base would... He's trying to remake, but that's not going to end up working out. Okay, maybe... Look, this is a pretty big army that Motive has scratched together now. But we are really in the very end of this game. This is going to be decided probably in the next attack on both sides. Okay, that is a fantastic stasis that goes down. Pulls the Arbiter back. Doesn't end up losing it, which is so nice. Oh! Huge mines here. Heard a nice Psystorm over here as well. Busting up some of these tanks, loses that shuttle. But I think this spread, this defensive posture might be able to hold on. He's bringing back a bunch of his units right now from his own attack as well, since Motive has no more mining bases. Motive continuing to try to come down here for this kill. The Arbiter almost with enough energy here for another stasis. That could be very important. Okay, he has enough now for that stasis. He's got to get it off. He's got to do it. We need those spells. Oh, that would have been the juiciest stasis right there. There's a science facility down here. Good Psystorm goes down. Another nice Psystorm, but I think the tank count is a bit too high. The last few units here of Motive's army going to get picked off. And this game was magnificent. Well played. Ample takes it down.